Our attitude towards life determines life's attitude towards us. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, Icy Tales is in conversation with Miss Anamika. She is mental wellness and relationship coach. Anamika takes personal counseling sessions and tarot consulting sessions and gives life coaching. She has more than 2K Instagram followers who she guides and gives tips and tricks to have better mental well-being. Hi, Anamika. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me here, Dhanika.
So we are good to go. Let's start with the discussion.
Sure.
Give us a brief glimpse of your journey. That is how you started and what are you planning for the future.
Okay. How this journey started is that it's been many, many years before I even thought that this is something that I'll be doing professionally. Since my childhood, I've been somebody who is inclined towards spirituality, so been very curious about wellness and all of these things. And it so happened that when I was working as a creative designer, I had a very hectic schedule. So it was always like hustling from one place to another. And at that point of time, I thought that, I need to do something about my stress, my anxiety, taking care of my well being. So I took another step and I started learning more courses into energy healings, into life coaching, wellness related that could help me. That is something that I kept doing for a very long time period. And then 2020 came, and that was an opportunity where I saw a lot of people around me, friends, family, a lot of people that I knew who needed help with what I was doing. And that is when the journey of Your Guiding Light, my venture, which looks into mental wellness, which looks into mind, body, soul wellness, started. And it's been 2 amazing years that I've been doing this, helping people heal and grow. And I look forward to reaching many more people and helping them with life counseling, with any sort of help that they need. I think in today's scenario, in today's time, uh, wellness has many aspects, and everyone needs physical, emotional, and mental wellness. And having a mentor or having a life coach is like, how Arjun had Krishna to help him. So it's like that. A life coach, a mentor does that for you. And irrespective of the age, okay, I could be mentoring somebody who's 60, 65, does not really matter. Or I could be mentoring somebody who's younger to me. But life coaching or energy healing or all of these things are basically showing people a better path towards clarity and inner balance. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm hoping to take it forward to millions more people.
That's great. So you are an NLP expert, life coach, and a mind trainer. How does this all of this work?
So, when we talk about life coaching or NLP or mind training, it's basically all related to our neurons. Okay. All of us, every human being has a certain level of neurons, and what we are, what we do, how we behave in our relationships, our habits, our careers, our performance, it's all related to our neurons and our subconscious. Right. So, if somebody is feeling anxious, somebody is feeling stuck, somebody is having post traumatic disorder, anxiety, depression, you're feeling stuck in a toxic cycle in your relationships or in your career, it can all be helped and rewired through NLP and life coaching. So, that is the power of NLP and life coaching, and it can work miraculously on anything. Even most of the diseases these days are psychosomatic diseases, which means they are mentally created first and then they reflect in your body. So this can also help with a lot of physical diseases as well.
Okay. So what are the symptoms or how does the person know when they need healing?
So when we talk about energy healing, okay, there could be many, many symptoms. But one of the most common symptoms that I have personally seen when people come to me is that you feel very drained, you feel very exhausted, you're completely overthinking, you feel like your energy is dipping, right? So that's one of the symptoms where you can say that, yes, your energy is really low, it's really affected. A lot of people, they are, very drained once they are with a group of people. That's also another symptom to understand that your energy is really drained and you need healing. If you're constantly procrastinating, that's also a symptom. There are various many symptoms, but these are like the few that I can mention here at this point of time.
So now everyone knows when they need to see you.
Yes.
Stress is the first word that a person learns as he or she starts to mature. Is there any way
Right.
to escape stress completely?
Yes. Uh, One reason that I can tell you from my experience, people have most amount of stress is that because they don't have clarity about where they want to go, where they are right now, and even the past, right? Even the past, what does it mean or how does it hold any significance? So, stress, apart from all the things that I practice on too, the most important thing that I do in my counselings and healings is giving the person the kind of clarity about their life path, about the direction, so that that kind of takes away a lot of stress. When you don't know where you want to, you're constantly juggling between things and it adds on to stress, right?
Of course, I can like totally relate to that.
I think everyone can relate with that, right?
Of
So
course.
if you want to get rid of stress, the first thing is, getting some clarity. And then, of course, all the things that we see, whether it's like physical symptoms, mental symptoms, or emotional symptoms, that is a reason that you've been accumulating that stress for really long, right? So now it's showing up in your body. So all the things that we do, whether it's healings or NLP, they can help you get rid of that accumulation, right? But if you want to be in that state where you're like, I want to be a little stress free, then you need to be more clear. The more clear you are, the less stress you have.
And in no time, like nowadays, in no time, stress can affect your physical well-being also. Mental, so it affect, of course, but physical it also.
Yes, it that happens. It just sweeps into your system, into your energies, into your mind, and before you even know, it starts, showing up in every area of your life, in all parts of your body as well.
Why do people feel insecure in a relationship, and how should they come over that?
So when we say that somebody is feeling insecure in a relationship, mostly it happens either because you did not have a very secure style growing up in your household. So most of the Indian people, right, whether it's girls or boys, we have never been taught to handle our emotions correctly, right?
Of
So
course.
that's one of the reasons that why insecurity happens, because when you do not know how to address your emotions, how to feel them, how to put them out, there are a lot of triggers that happens and insecurity comes out, right? Second reason for insecurity is that in today's time, by the age of 28 or 30, almost everyone has had at least one or two relationships, right? And definitely they've not gone so well, right? So what happens is that we kind of keep moving into another relationship without working on ourselves and without cleansing the trauma of the past, right? So everything from the past, it's like it's still there in our subconscious. And anytime anybody does something, you're like, oh, this happened in the past one as well. And it's a trigger. And it triggers my insecurity. Right? So, insecurity is not always about what your partner or the other person is doing. It's also about the fact that something happened 10 years ago and you've never addressed that. You've never let that out of your subconscious. So that's one of the reasons.
How should they come over? Like, with what is the one solution to that?
Sorry,
That you suggest? What you suggest for the people to come over insecurity?
what do I suggest for people to come over insecurities? Working
Yes.
on yourself. Okay. Working on yourself, completely knowing and understanding. I think the greatest work a human can do is understanding your insecurities and triggers. Because once you understand your insecurities and triggers, it's like you do not hand over your remote control to somebody else. You know that, this is my trigger. This is not about them. This is about me. So you can deal with it better. So working on your inner child, understanding your patterns throughout your life, all of these things can be very, very helpful when it comes to insecurity.
Okay. So next we have like how does spiritual healing help in mental well-being?
So, when we talk about spiritual healing, which is energy healing, firstly, I would like to help everyone understand that energy is a very scientific concept. I've got a lot of clients who are like, I don't believe in this. I don't know how it's going to work. And once they took the session, they understood how it worked. So, when we talk about spiritual healings, it's a very scientific process. All of us are made of energy, right? And what happens is that, like, we have an electromagnetic field around us, which is what we call as aura in spiritual healings, right? So this energy is always in our body. It's our life force, right? Like when a person is dead, everything is there, the organs are there, everything is there, right? But the energy is not there. The energy or the soul has exited, right? So your energy or the life force, it is what keeps you alive and running, right? Now what happens is that through the life, when we go through certain experiences, situations, different people, different environments, our energy gets changed. Okay, like for example, if you went through certain trauma or a disease, it all gets captured in your energy, right? So if you do not do energy healing or you don't cleanse your energy, it will get stuck in your energy, and then it will create mental, emotional, or physical issues, right? Like I'll give you one very basic example. There is this concept where if you cut a tree trunk, you can get to know that when there was a drought, the entire history of that tree, right? Similarly, our energy system is also very advanced. It stores everything that you've gone through your birth. Okay. And it can store the trauma, it can store the pain, the disease, and all of these things. Even regret, guilt, stress, all of these different things, right? I personally have seen that a lot of people who store a lot of guilt and regret, they have very weak energy systems, right? So energy healing is something that can help you release all of these things, and that can help you become mentally and emotionally and even physically stable.
I totally relate to that also.
Yeah,
So
I think everyone can relate to this part.
you have your Instagram page filled with crystal healing and you also own a store of the same. Please
Yeah.
tell us how crystals help in healing.
So again, with crystals, what happens, like I was just telling you, everything has an energy, right? So anything that has a form, whether living or non-living, has a certain energy body. Okay. And when we talk about crystals, genuine crystals, these are earth-found crystals which have a very pure energy, right? So once they come in contact with your energy, with your body energy, you're wearing them or you're keeping them with you, they kind of start communicating with your energy and start uplifting your energy. So that is how it works. And it's not like you wear a crystal in one day and it does magic. It's a scientific process. Your body has an energy system. It complements that energy system and it helps you. And there are many crystals for this reason, for many different things, for for your confidence, for courage, for all of these different things, right? So your body has different energy centers, and these crystals work on those energy centers. They uplift that energy and they help you get the desired results.
Everything takes time. They takes time, but they do that.
Everything takes a little bit of a time, right? Like if you plant a seed, right, at 9 p.m. and then you're like at 9:15, why has it not grown into a tree?
Yeah,
I think that might not be the best approach, right? So I'm not saying everything takes a lot of time, but yes, you have to be a little patient. You have to give it the time it requires. And if you've stored the trauma for 20 years, you cannot expect 20 minutes to take that away.
of course. So sometimes when we feel ill, like in the Indian household, mothers
Yeah.
generally exclaim that this is because of negative energies and negative vibes. How much
Yes.
is that of true?
So when we talk about, firstly, let me tell you, even my mom does that. Okay, she'll also, take does
Yeah.
that very, very often, which is a good thing because that's how they show their love to us. But the basic concept of this is again that we are all energy bodies. Okay, so when we say that somebody has put a negative energy, it's because they are sending a negative vibration towards you, an unhealthy vibration. Okay, and it's not that everyone catches it, but if you see in today's scenario, most of the people do not have a very healthy energy system, right? It's like if you have a very healthy immune system and then somebody sneezes around you, you might not catch that cold. But if you have a weak immune system and somebody sneezes right next to you, you are definitely going to fall ill, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a strong energy system, your aura is strong, you're mentally, emotionally, you have good energy, you're spiritually strong, then it might not affect you that much. But if you are feeling very low, very drained, your aura is very weak, then it does happen that you get affected by other people's vibrations, their thoughts, their energies. So that is how this works. It's not like somebody's, you know, they can literally do anything. It's all a matter of energy. So they're sending out certain energies to you. And if you have a good shield, then you can just bounce it off.
Okay, now we have a clear approach towards that.
Yes.
So, what is
But here I am adding a caution. Please don't try explaining this concept to your parents, or if you do so, do it at your own risk.
of course. How does aura cleansing work? Though you have told a lot about that, but
Yeah.
a brief few words you would like to say on aura cleansing.
So, aura cleansing works on three levels. It helps cleanse the mental energies, the emotional energies, and the physically trapped energies. Okay. So, think of your body like a pond. Okay. Now, you have been putting a lot of water into this pond. You've been putting different garbage, different things, right? But in this pond, if you don't change the water regularly, if there's stagnant water, it will become, muddy. It will become dirty after a point of time, right? And this is what happens with the kind of lifestyle we have. We don't move so much, we don't have so much physical activity, we are very disassociated with nature and the elements of nature at times, right, which keeps us surviving. So what happens is that our energy becomes stagnant. There are different parts of our body, different energy centers, as I was explaining, which become stagnant. Okay, they store certain traumas, certain dirt, energies from others, right? So aura cleansing, what it does is that it helps you cleanse that. It takes away all that trauma, all the negative energy that has been stored into your system so that there is clean, fresh water in your pond. And the feeling of having a clean, fresh water? That's exactly how you feel after an aura cleansing session.
That's so nice. So, what is that one thing that inspires you to keep going and never give up?
I think one thing that inspires me to keep going and never give up is there have been times when I've been stressed, I've been anxious, like thinking and just praying that maybe if I could get somebody to help me or, guide me or get me out of this. So I know at that point of time, if I would have had a good mentor or a coach or a healer to help me, what it would have done, right? So now when I work every day, when I wake up, it's with a mission to help people heal, grow, and transform their life. My personal mission is that I want to be my highest version, and I wish the same for everyone. So that's what keeps me driving because, there's lot to do. If you set a goal in a certain, you know, terms like I want to have these many followers or this much money, you might achieve it, right? But when the goal is like I want to be my highest version and I want everyone else to be their highest version, it's a crazy goal, right? So like one of my uh, most favorite philosophers that I follow, and he always used to say that if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough, right? So I think that's one of my dream where I want to be in that space where I want to have everyone reaching their highest potential, transforming themselves, where life coaching, healing, being emotionally and mentally fit and stable is the new norm, not anxiety and stress. So that is what keeps me going.
It's a continuous and a never-ending process. It will keep going.
Yes.
So, any experience from your client that you would like to share?
Well, there are many experiences, but I would like to share particularly two experiences. One was with a lady who was in her mid 30s, and she's been into two abusive relationships. She's been married and divorced twice, physically abusive relationships here I'm talking about. And as a child, also, she was never really loved, right? So when I worked on her life counselings and through NLP, I was helping her into her subconscious and everything. I've seen a change in how she believes that, she can be loved, that she matters, having a healthy, stable relationship. Imagine somebody who's never had a glimpse of what feeling loved feels like, coming into a space where they are genuinely and authentically loved by their partner and people around them because they have transformed so much, right? So that's one example that I would want to share. And with all the girls and the ladies who are there, especially if you are in an abusive or a toxic relationship, I want people to know and understand that yes, there are hope. It's not that you've done something wrong and you deserve this. It's just that there are certain energy systems, there's certain mental reprogramming that needs to be done, and you can also achieve that in your life. The second example is of another client who was into a corporate, and she was at a very good position in a corporate. But there was this constant thing that I've noticed, that uh, never at peace, right? Like the next promotion, the next promotion, the next promotion, never at peace, never at peace. And this one client I worked with healings, and after working with her healings, not only has she been able to get into a better position in her career, but also in terms of her relationship with her partner, her child, her family has also improved. Like she came back and she told me that, I can see that my child respects and loves me more because I no longer feel frustrated and I don't have to, raise my hand on my child or my voice. You have made me so much more calm and reflective and aware that I don't take it out, right? Now imagine when somebody takes out something on a child, you are literally passing that on to a next generation and to the next and to the next, right? So that made me realize that just by healing one person, we have healed a child, a partner, even the people who were working with her, they were also feeling better, right? It's just like a ripple effect. One person healed can lead to so much more.
That is very inspiring. So, last but not the least, like anything you would like to say to the viewers?
Anything I would like to say to the viewers? I think what I would really tell everyone is that, just be yourself. Okay. I think this is something that people have said over and over again, but through my personal experience, I've realized that this is the hardest thing to do, to be genuine, to be authentic. When you have a voice in your head which is saying that, this is the path that you need to follow that path. I have changed careers in my life. I have done some very unusual things. And when you do those things, when you follow your heart, when you do unusual things, people will always be doubting you, right? But if you believe in yourself, if you just be authentic with yourself, it's always going to turn out way better than you could have thought. That's one thing that I would tell everyone. Follow your heart, be yourself, be authentic, and don't give up on yourself. That's the most important thing. Never, ever.
So, that was really nice talking to you. And I enjoyed it personally a lot, and I've learned a lot of new things right now. And most of the people who will watch this interview will also learn a lot of new things and will get on a better path. So thank you for joining us today. It was very, very, very nice talking to you. It's my
Thank you,
pleasure.
Dhanika. I am so glad that we got an opportunity to connect and put this out so that people can also see and understand and it can help more people. And it was lovely talking to you. You are a wonderful soul. So glad to meet you today.